Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for mid-March 2025. You have this card that says, what do you need to release? You also have this card that says, have faith in your dreams. Yeah, we just had that eclipse. So, lunar eclipses always ask us to release something. And, so it makes a lot of sense to me that you would get a card that says, what do you need to release? And eclipse energy can last for up to like 6 months. So, you might not necessarily be releasing something right away. Although, I have found that usually we do kind of release something very quickly at like around the time of an eclipse, sometimes before an eclipse. The other interesting thing that I would say about this eclipse in Virgo, the one we just had in general, is it's kind of like maybe people aren't really releasing something. Maybe people are reinventing something. And I say maybe because I have no freaking clue, right? So you're going to have to tell me. But, it's like the best way I can describe it is it feels like to me that maybe some people have had like a triggering moment where, like in work or business or, anything that you want. Could be like a relationship that you're in or, anything, right? And it's like sometimes I think we can have a moment where we're like, is this working or are things going the wrong direction? And but sometimes that like trigger is the thing that causes us to make things better. And so again, I don't necessarily think that this eclipse is saying we have to release something, but it might be saying we have to like reinvent something. You have the Judgment card here, which could say that you have to rebirth something as well. So you're not necessarily like quitting is not what I feel for you, Aquarius. A couple of other signs were they had much more clear cutting energy where it's like they're cutting something out. Your energy, especially with that Judgment card, could say that you're more kind of rebirthing like a project or a relationship or a business or whatever it is for you. So you start with the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups can be love, of course. You do have some good love cards, so if you want love, sure, it's here in the reading. Two of Cups is usually a person who's different than your usual type. I do feel this could be someone from the past, but not really like a past lover. I feel that this could be more... this doesn't have to be a past lover, is what I'm trying to say. This could be like a person that you knew from the past. It just doesn't give me, you have the Magician, and Magician is a card of like newness, and usually the Magician represents something new as well. So I would say that it could be like an old new person that's coming in for you. Doesn't have to be, it could be anything, general reading. More importantly than that, the Two of Cups is about talking to your higher self. It's you and your higher self communicating. We have a crap ton of energy in Pisces. It is a very spiritual time. Anything you can do to like tap in would be a really good idea. This could be like journaling, meditating, going for a walk, whatever it is for you. You could get a lot of answers by doing that. You have the Judgment card, so clearly your higher self is talking to you because this right here is your higher self angel. The higher self angel on this card is calling these people out of their coffins. The coffin represents their old life, Outside the coffin is their new life, and the angel is calling them into their new life. And so you are clearly being called into a new life. It kind of makes sense because, Pluto just basically went into your sign officially to stay, which is more important. It's been in your sign a few times, and but now it's there to stay. And so a lot of you definitely could be experiencing this kind of rebirth energy. The other thing I want to say is that this kind of makes sense as well for you, Aquarius, because it's like, I think that there's two retrogrades, Venus and Mercury right now. And retrogrades are great energies for rebirthing things. And both of those retrogrades are retrograding back into your second house. If you're a first house Aquarius, they're both going to be retrograding back into Pisces. So, the second house is all about values and things that you value, material goods, things like that. And so a lot of you could be like rebirthing your work. And we do see a lot of good money cards here as well. You have the Magician. The Magician is about reinvention. He has this snake wrapped around his waist right here, and it's the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is a symbol of reinventing yourself. And not only that, we go up to the the Star card, which is your card here, Aquarius. So a lot of you could be kind of like reinventing yourselves, kind of like maybe you're planning a reinvention as well. Like maybe you're planning on presenting yourself in a different way, or, maybe you're like upgrading yourself in a certain way as well, could be happening here. So let's see. With the Two of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old and with the new. So again, we do have a lot of new energy here. Like I said, this still could be a rebirth because Ace of Wands is innovative. It is inspiring. It can just say that you are inspired to, work towards your dreams in a different way. You are inspired to have a relationship in a different way. It could be anything. But the Ace of Wands really wants us to follow our inspirations. And if we do that, then we will be successful. With the Judgment card, you have the Two of Swords. Needing to make a decision. I don't know. Probably for the past, 10 years that I've had this channel, you have had these cards of needing to make a decision. So I feel, she's thinking like her life can only go this way or this way. But really, she has this new island behind her. And she just has to make the decision of seeing that something is possible. And so if you're being called to something by your higher self, if you're experiencing inspiration, which can be your higher self, where you just randomly start, if you've ever had one of those ideas that you can't stop thinking about, especially if it just pops into your head randomly throughout the day, that could be your higher self trying to inspire you to take action in a new direction. And, this reading is definitely kind of saying that. With the Magician, you have the Three of Wands. Yes, what are you waiting for? Basically, you already see this, Aquarius. Whatever this opportunity is, it's like you're ready to set sail. I feel like you're ready to make your move. He's looking at these boats that are on the water here. And, the story of the card is that he's looking at that water. It's golden in color. And so at first he thinks he's looking at the desert, but when he looks closer, he sees those boats. So, this can represent being called to something where you don't think there's much of an opportunity, but when you look closer, there's a much bigger opportunity than you realize. When I first started this channel, I used to tell the lovely Bonnie, when I first started the channel, Bonnie was one of the, if you know Bonnie, right, go to my lives, you'll see Bonnie. Bonnie was one of my first supporters, the first person to believe in me, and she used to tell me all the time that I would reach 10,000 subscribers. And I used to tell her, there's no freaking way a tarot channel is going to have 10,000 subscribers, right? And boy, was I wrong, right? I did not see the opportunity. So the Three of Wands is about looking at something and realizing that there could be more potential than you realize if you set sail. And I think that's what Aquarius needs to do here, right? So let's see. Next in the area of what's coming in for you, all these cards are dreams. I think you have another one here as well. Maybe not. I could be making it up. But you have this fortune card, or this other card, this laziness card. It says, your dreams are so much bigger than your efforts to achieve them. If you want to accomplish great things, you'll have to try harder. I feel like you are trying hard. You have the King of Wands, which is being bold, being assertive, really, going for what you want. With the Star as well, if I was being super picky about this reading, I would say that those two cards together could represent needing to stand out more. And we'll talk about that in a second. You have this fortune card. It says, when fortune appears in your life, limitations disappear. As you sit back and watch your dreams manifest, another dreams card, before your eyes, you are filled with profound sense of gratitude and wonder. Yes, so this whole reading is kind of saying it's time to manifest or create some sort of dream. And that seems to be what you are doing here, Aquarius. You have the King of Wands, the Star, and the Nine of Pentacles. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. He is very innovative. I think that's something that people forget about the King of Wands, is even though he's a Wands card, and, maybe we would think of, the Swords cards more as innovative cards because air signs are innovative. The King of Wands has foresight. He can almost see the future, maybe not necessarily intuitively, but kind of. And, that can lead to ideas that are very innovative. So, again, I would be using your Aquarius energy with any ideas that you're working on or anything that you want to accomplish. Like, now is a great time for that, it seems, for you. And I would really be embracing that energy with the King of Wands. With the Star card as well, this would represent kind of like needing to step into the light. needing to get attention. I'm pretty sure I say to you all the time that I think the biggest risk that anyone can take during Pluto and Aquarius is the risk of exposure. The risk of saying something and people calling you stupid. The risk of starting a YouTube channel and people calling you stupid. The risk of speaking up at work and your boss making fun of you. The risk of asking for a raise and your boss saying no. There's a billion examples, right? But basically the risk of asking for what you need, or the risk of getting attention and being wrong. And the star says that you need to be the star. You are the star, Aquarius, and I feel you need to believe it. She's pouring this water here onto the land, and that water is flowing out into the earth, and that water comes from the pool of universal consciousness. The star card, this right here, says what's possible for one person is possible for anyone. So, if someone has done something that you want to do, then you can do it, and this card wants you to take those actions to make it happen. The other thing I would say is that your opposite sign, Leo, keeps getting the star card. And the star card is also a big picture card. Like, sometimes we just have to zoom out and see the big picture and put things into perspective, and that can make hard things much more possible. And one of these cards here said that you have to, all these cards are kind of saying you need to do something hard. you have that, have faith in your dreams. You have this laziness card, which says you have to try harder. You have this fortune card, which says that that your limitations need to disappear, right? So I feel in a lot of ways this is saying, it's time for you to shine bright. And I would do it, Aquarius. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, great card of gratitude and luxuries. Very interesting as well. I think the first 2 weeks of this month were a little bit more challenging as far as finances are concerned, because we had this limitation squeeze, with the eclipse, happening, and also, the 2 retrogrades happening. Basically, beginning of the month, Venus went retrograde toward, now Mercury is retrograde. So I keep saying the end of the month. I know it's retrograde, but for some reason I have it stuck in my brain, the end of the month, for whatever reason. Yes, I understand Mercury is retrograde right now, as of yesterday. I'm going to blame the retrograde for the confusion. But what I would say is, with these 2 retrogrades, I think that even though Mercury wasn't retrograde, Venus retrograde, Venus has to do with our values. And, I think the beginning of it could have created a little bit of a financial squeeze. Now, the good news is that I feel this squeeze is kind of coming off. And I do feel a lot of us could be improving our finances right now, or just, things could be getting better. With the King of Wands, you have the Fool. Yeah, really time for you to take a leap of faith. 3 of Wands always reminds me of the Fool. I always think of the 3 of Wands as needing to take a leap of faith. So, there's clearly something that you want. I feel like that, a lot of this stuff is dream stuff that you're dreaming of. And it's a dream can be a reality, but you have to take the leap of faith. With the Star, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about starting slow as well. So if you are starting something, like working on a dream, or something that you're dreaming of, or something that you're passionate about, then, take your time. Especially if this is love as well. You have that Two of Cups. Six of Pentacles says, take your time, plant a seed, wait for them to also plant the seed and make things happen. Really, I look at this card as the tennis match of love. You hit the ball to their side, you wait for them to hit the ball to your side, and you just have a nice little back and forth, right? And as long as you take your time, you'll be fine. Yes, we have 2 retrogrades. No, I wouldn't worry about it, because, again, if we really followed all the rules of astrology, you wouldn't even breathe. So, again, I think the rules are meant to be broken. I know plenty of people that have gotten into relationships that they're still in many years later during Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde. Your mom is in retrograde. I know people that have gotten into relationships under mom retrograde. They're perfectly fine. Nothing happens. So, again, retrogrades won't prevent good things from happening. Just take your time. Don't rush. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, everybody has had the High Priestess. Speaking of moms, every planet and its mother is basically in Pisces right now. So, and both Venus and Mercury will retrograde back into Pisces. So, with all this Pisces energy, I would definitely say it's a great time to, kind of trust your intuition, tap into your intuition. I think it's also a great time to make extra time to listen to your intuition, like meditate, go for a walk, all those other things. You could be getting a lot of answers. Now, the thing about the High Priestess as well, she's a card of unlimited potential. So sometimes, with all this, there's a lot of potential in the reading, and it kind of says you need to work on things that have a lot of potential. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this past card and this celebration card. There is something about the past going on here with the judgment card showing up in the first row. Some of you could be celebrating like the return of something from the past. And no, it doesn't have to be a person. This could be something that you worked on. Really, for me to say that, I would like to see the Eight of Pentacles show up in the reading, because the Eight of Pentacles can represent getting paid for work that you did in the past. But again, it doesn't have to be work. It could say that you invested your energy into something and you're getting a result now. But this kind of gives me that feeling, which is not a bad thing at all. You have the Two of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and the Six of Swords. Two of Pentacles is about work hard, play hard. Yes, we are definitely in a time where we have to work hard, play hard. We have to make sure that we're working hard and playing hard. We need to make sure we're balancing the energy. If we're playing too hard, we need to make sure that we go also work hard as well. So we kind of need to go back and forth. It is also like a little bit of a chaotic ADHD energy going on right now with the two retrograde. So what I think is maybe a little bit more important energetically is focused attention with this card and the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, she is very focused. Like when she's working on something, she is working on that one thing and she gets it done, right? And then she does something else. I kind of feel that here, where it's saying like over the next few months, like until May, really, the middle of May, I would say that it would be a good time, if you want to get things done, do one thing at a time. Focused attention with the Two of Pentacles. Next, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is all about happiness and focusing on happiness. I always say these people are choosing happiness. These 10 cups exist above their heads, but they're standing in the real world. And I think we do need to bring more happiness into the world. There's a lot of things that aren't happy going on in the world, right? And so the only way we can fix it is to make sure that we are bringing more love, joy, peace, happiness into the world. So 10 of Cups wants us to do that. Now, one thing I will say is that the Ten of Cups sometimes I feel says, like, don't get high on your own supply, basically. The Ten of Cups says sometimes we can celebrate too soon. And I almost never say that because Ten of Cups is a very good card. But here's what I mean. It's like sometimes I think we can think that we're having a victory before we actually have it, right? And this is not a bad thing. What I think the card is saying intuitively is I feel like it's talking about follow through. Like if you are working on a project or a business or an idea, it's like, when you get to what you think is the end, just go a little bit further. I feel because I don't know, I just have that story popping into my head, Aquarius, where it's like saying, don't celebrate too soon. It's not saying that you shouldn't celebrate. I think it's saying that you should be making sure that you are really cementing that celebration in the world. So it's like don't rest on your laurels, maybe, is what I'm trying to say with that Ten of Cups. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. I feel Aquarius is probably one of the signs that's looking for improvements in general. Kind of like all fixed signs are looking for improvements because of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is like a hot poker poking you in every area of your life where you are experiencing restriction. Uranus and Taurus wants true freedom. And this is according to Chris's crappy astrology here. So like anything that is causing restriction, it's going to feel like you're getting poked with a hot poker, like I said. And so all those things are, anywhere where you're being restricted, you could be kind of like having triggering moments. And this isn't really a bad thing. This is a good thing, There could be things that you're doing that you don't think are a restriction that actually are. It's like if you have a business and it's not making you enough money, but you think that it's supporting you, but maybe the universe has better ideas for you, then the universe is going to poke you right there and say, like, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing, and it's going to make things harder. So we have to look at those areas of our life where maybe we know deep down inside that we should move away from whatever the thing is, but we kind of also don't at the same time. And we need to be willing to either make a change, reinvent it, rebirth it, whatever it is, or move on from it, plain and simple. With the Two of Pentacles, here you go. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Amazing reading. This is probably the best reading so far in these mid-monthlies, but I love these two together. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. It is like the tree of life. So a lot of you are definitely very much focused on the big picture right now, like we said with the star. The Ten of Pentacles, all we can do is build it. We don't magically get the Ten of Pentacles, but the Ten of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy, so it's something that we kind of work on forever. And I feel a lot of you, the good news with the stars, you can see it. That's like half the battle. We need to see what we want before we can have it, and then we can work towards it, and that's like what you're doing. Here you go. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Lovers. I would say this is definitely new love that's coming in for you here. Lovers is new love, so if you want love, there definitely could be a new connection. I feel like there's too much attraction going on here, if I'm being honest with you, Aquarius. It's like, sometimes you're attracted to someone too much, and you're like, you think they're out of your league. I kind of feel that for some of you, where, like, if you have your eye on a person, you might be thinking that, but I don't think it's true. The other weird thing I'm getting here is that for some of you, it's like maybe everybody thinks that. So it's like, I call this hot guy syndrome. I used to have a friend, Hot Jesse, is what we used to call him, right? Big jack dude, right? Always had rippling muscles, looked the best out of all of us, right? And all of us used to call him Hot Jesse. Don't ask me why. And so, he was always single for a period of time because he was like too attractive, right? And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like you actually might be attractive, or this could be you. You might be Hot Jesse, right? So I don't know. I just get that feeling here where it's like someone is actually single, but you think they're not, or something, or vice versa. I don't know. Take it how it resonates here, Aquarius. With the Six of Swords, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about following your heart, which pretty much everyone needs to do right now. Our heart is telling us what to do, and we just have to listen. That's it. So there you go. Let's see. What are we doing next? The good stuff. So next in the area of the good stuff, you have this Day and Night card. It says there's current disharmony due to existing differences in some matter, but showing up in the good stuff. You have this Healing Energy card. It says you're in the process of healing, eliminating any bad energy in your life. Yes, the eclipse that we just had is excellent for healing, so that makes sense. If there have been differences in some matter, you could be correcting that right now. Again, this this Day and Night card's coming up in the good stuff, and not only that, but you have the Temperance card. In the Temperance card, he's kind of like mixing these two cups together, and he's practicing alchemy. He's turning one thing into another, or creating a turnaround. So a lot of you could actually, if there have been some issues with some differences in any area of your life, you could be correcting those differences, or, kind of finding a middle ground, I kind of feel. Next, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is all about going on an adventure. So with the Page of Wands, we have to adventure. We just have to go on an adventure with the Page of Wands, right? And the Page of Wands, he really doesn't have a good reason for going on the adventure he's going on. His reason is that he feels enthusiastic about something, which really, that doesn't mean anything. He's just excited. That's it. So a lot of you could be feeling more adventurous. I did notice in the March monthly readings, a lot of people, and you might have been one of them, had this like happy-go-lucky, non-attachment to outcome energy kind of showing up. You have the Fool. He's very happy-go-lucky. You have this card. He's very happy-go-lucky. He just kind of like starts something, and he's not attached to the outcome. And, again, I think that practicing that energy could be very good. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords in the good stuff is a blessing in disguise. Ten of Swords normally says something is dead, done, over with, but he's making this symbol right here. It's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card, and it's a blessing. So, again, I think a lot of you could just be experiencing a blessing in disguise. Next, with the Temperance card, you have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is about disappointments, but he is focusing on his loss for his taste for wine, but he has these two cups behind him. The Temperance Angel is holding on to two cups. Also, showing up in the good stuff, this would say that something is not going to be a disappointment, so wouldn't even worry about it. With the Page of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. A new direction in general for you could be a blessing. So again, like I said with that Judgment card, if you're picking a new direction or taking something in a new direction, like if you're rebirthing one of your ideas and going another way, that's probably where the blessing will come from. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Page of Cups. We have a lot of love going this way right here. Definitely could be a new connection for those of you that want love, and it could be a blessing. Like the Ten of Swords would say that when you meet this person, if you haven't already, you could be saying to yourself like, wow, thank God I didn't stay with the last bozo, right? So there you go. You have this light card. It says stepping into new experiences. The whole entire reading says that. I mean, Judgment, Star, Ten of Swords. So I feel a lot of you are just, having new experiences or embracing new ideas or new things. You have this Claw card. It says, be careful, do not take risks. I always say I disagree with this card right now because we do have to take risks right now. But again, we talked about the type of risk you should be taking. Star card, the risk of attention, more or less, right? And also calculated risks. I would not take risks that are not calculated with this card, like jumping out of an airplane. You might say that is calculated, they prepare. No, a bad idea right now, right? Being in an airplane right now, I don't know if you've noticed, being in an airplane is a bad idea right now. So, again, no uncalculated risks. You have the Sunrise card. It says, new creative ideas, new ventures, fresh start. The whole entire reading. I mean, I could have just pulled this card and saved you like 25 minutes, right? So there you go. There's your entire reading summed up in a nutshell. You have this Bear card. It says danger, especially in money matters. I don't know. Money looks very good. But again, I did say don't get high on your own supply. So if you're making a bunch of money, don't spend it all over the place. Like, make sure you're holding on to a little bit. Make sure you're saving a little bit. All that other stuff. You have another card. It says Shark. It says take care or there will be loss of material wealth. Yes. If you're making a lot of money, just, you don't have to be paranoid about this, but I would just put a little bit to the side and make sure you have a little bit added to your rainy day fund. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. But this looks very good, Aquarius. I like this. I feel very enthusiastic about this, if you can't tell. So love it. Thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.